I don't work. I'm the most handsome in the village. All the ladies are mine.
This is the story of Emeka in a bustling village. Nestled among rolling green hills lived a young man named Emeka. And oh, was he handsome! His skin was as smooth as polished ebony. His smile could charm the birds from the trees, and his shoulders were broad and strong. From the oldest elder to the youngest child, everyone agreed that Emeka was the most handsome man they had ever seen. And Emeka knew it. He would spend hours by the river, not to fetch water, but to admire his own reflection. He'd walk through the market with his chest puffed out, expecting everyone to stop and stare, which they often did. He believed his good looks made him the greatest man in the village, superior to everyone else. The farmers with their soil-stained hands? He scoffed at them. The skilled blacksmiths with soot on their faces? He looked down on them. To Emeka, the hard work was beneath him. The village maidens would sigh as he passed, but the wiser ones saw the emptiness behind his eyes. One day, the village's most respected elder, a wise woman named Adana, decided it was time for Emeka to learn a lesson. She watched him preen and boast, and her heart grew heavy. She knew that a man's worth wasn't in his face, but in his character and his contribution to his community. Adana announced a grand contest to find the most worthy man in the village. The prize was a beautiful, handcrafted staff, a symbol of honor and respect. The contest had 3 tasks. The first was to clear a stubborn patch of farmland that had been overgrown for years. Emeka arrived late, dressed in his finest clothes. He took one look at the tangled weeds and thorny bushes and sneered. He refused to get his hands dirty or risk a single scratch on his perfect skin. He simply stood aside, watching as other men he considered beneath him, worked together. Sweating and straining until the land was cleared, they shared water and encouragement. The laughter echoing as they toiled, Emeka just scoffed. The second task was to repair the leaking roof of the widow Chinwe's hut before the rainy season. Heavy clay pots and bundles of thatch needed to be carried up a rickety ladder. Emeka declared the work far too dangerous and menial for someone of his stature. "What if I fall?" He complained. "My face could be ruined." So again, he watched from a distance as the same group of men worked together. They formed a chain, passing the materials up to the roof, their combined strength making the task manageable and safe. They fixed the roof, ensuring a poor widow would have a dry home. The final task was a test of wisdom. Adana gathered the contestants and asked a simple riddle. What is stronger than any man, yet can be held in the palm of your hand? What is more valuable than gold, yet is given freely? The men pondered. Some guessed a lion, others a diamond. Emeka, confident as ever, stepped forward and said, "The answer is me, of course. My beauty is my strength, more valuable than any jewel." Adana smiled sadly then. A quiet farmer named Chidi, whose hands were calloused from years of work, stepped forward. "The answer," he said softly, "is a helping hand. It has the strength to lift another person up, and its value comes from being given freely from one heart to another." A murmur of agreement spread through the crowd. Adana nodded and presented the staff of honor to Chidi. She then turned to Emeka, her voice kind but firm. "Emeka," she said, "beauty is a gift from the ancestors, but it is a fleeting one. True manhood is not found in a reflection. It is found in the strength of your hands when they help others, the sweat on your brow when you work for your community, and the wisdom in your heart when you show kindness." For the first time in his life, Emeka felt a deep sense of shame. He looked at Chidi, holding the staff, surrounded by the very men he had mocked. They weren't just farmers and blacksmiths. They were the pillars of the village. Their faces were not as flawless as his, but they shone with the light of purpose and community from that day on. Emeka changed. He began to join the other men in the fields. He learned to build and to mend. He discovered the joy of shared labor and the deep satisfaction of helping his neighbors. His hands became rough. His fine clothes were often smudged with dirt, but his smile was more genuine than it had ever been. He learned that true handsomeness isn't about how you look, but about how you make the world around you a better place. He learned that the strongest man is the one who lifts others up. And that's the story of Emeka. It's a powerful reminder that our true worth lies in our actions, our kindness, and our service to others. What did you think of the story? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from around the world. See you next time.